Good, everybody? You already know what it is. It's Ty G. We're back in the building with another video today. Prayers for anybody who's watching this. And we're going to get straight into the new video topic, which is it's important for you to fail. And it sounds crazy for me to say that, right? Failure, why would I want to fail? Nobody wants to fail. You don't want to fail on the test. You don't want to fail at your job. You don't want to fail in any aspects of life. But failure is essential for us learning how to succeed. And not only that, learning from our mistakes. And we must not look at failure as I'm a failure type of thing, but you must look at it as a lesson and you must fail forward. And this comes from a great book by John Maxwell, which is called Failing Forward, which talks about many trials and tribulations that not only he went through, but others went through, and how they learned to fail forward and take those events from their lives and those lessons from their lives to go forward. For instance, you may fail in many aspects of your life. You may fail on that exam. You may fail at work. And when you fail at that exam, what do? You're more likely to go and spend more time with that professor, spend more time in that craft, learning that topic. You may spend more time focusing on the next exam, which means that failure taught you, okay, here's the lesson. I didn't know this as much as I thought I did. Now I have to spend more time. Now I have to spend more time with the professor. Now I have to put more work forth. So then next time when I take this exam, I'm going to do that much better. When you fail at work, maybe you had a deadline, you didn't reach the deadline. Okay, maybe it's my team and we didn't work diligently enough for us to reach that deadline, so our client would be happy, so my boss would be happy, so the business would be happy. Maybe it's for your company and you're pitching it, and maybe you failed in executing how you wanted to pitch it to investors. But there's so many times where we're like, oh, I failed at this. We want to hide it from others. And social media is to blame for it because you see so many people who look so successful, but they may be failing behind the camera. You fail every day you decide to get up. You may post a video and you want X amount of views and it doesn't happen. I may post a video and expect X amount of views and it doesn't happen. But what does that mean? I'm going to fail forward. I'm going to try again. I might try something new. I might stay on just being consistent, because guess what? We must continue to take those failures and learn. If you're scared to fail and you have people who are around you who are telling you to be scared to fail, you need to get away from them. You need to get away from that environment. You need to get out of your head with that, because then you're never going to grow. A great example that we learn in school is the scientific method. When you're trying to come up with a hypothesis of what might happen, all scientists came up with, if this happens, then that will happen. Meaning that going through the experiment, they thought if a certain event in a certain environment was put around that, then this event should follow that. And when it didn't happen, is that a failure to the scientists? No, it's a learning. It's a learning lesson. It's a lesson to where they understood that, okay, granted, I failed, but let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. The advancements of everything we have light, we have a refrigerator, we have all these different things in this day and age. And the only way we were able to develop that is through failure. Through failure. The first house, the first apartment, the first anything came from a failure of something else and failing forward. So you need to stop looking at yourself like, oh, I'm going to fail at doing this. Oh, I failed at doing that. Okay, I failed. I learned my lesson. Let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try that. There's so many different ways we have to look at it. But when you harp on the fact that you failed, you're keeping yourself in that cycle. Okay, I failed at uploading this video. I failed at working this job. I failed at eating healthy. I failed at reading that book. And now I don't want to take that risk anymore. So I'm going to sit in that bubble that I know of. Why? Why do that? What do you gain from that? And then when you see other people who took the risk and who, they started that business, they uploaded that video, they started that diet, they started that workout plan, they started saving money, they started devoting themselves to what they knew that they needed to do while failing, and they continue to go forward, you're going to be upset with yourself on, why did I do that? I should have did that. You're going to start having some regrets. I should have did this earlier. I should have just, took that risk. There's so many celebrities, there's so many successful people that we see, and they talk about how they took the risk. Granted, you want to know why it was a risk? Because they knew they could have failed. They knew they could have failed. So for you who's watching this, you have to understand you're going to fail. It's not about if I fail, it's about what do I do after I fail. When you're on a sports team, you're playing football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, and your team loses, you failed to execute that day, did you not? Your team looks at that loss, might go to the film room, watch what you guys did wrong. Here's some mental mistakes I make. Here's what I could work on. And your coach and the players get together and you guys work on what you could fix for the next game, so that failure doesn't happen again. But we don't look at it like that. Some of us can only look at that failure, but can't look at it in a different way. Okay, I'm at this job. I don't like it. The pay isn't where I want to be at. I want to get some more money. Okay, so in this regard, I'm failing, right? So let me take that risk. I might have to leave that job. I might have to, save up some money, leave that job, so then I can focus on that business I want to do. And that business might fail. You might fail in getting investors, but what does that mean? It doesn't mean the idea is wrong. It means the way how you went about executing it may be wrong. And you learn that lesson. But you need to stop being scared of failure. Too many of us need to stop being scared of failure. When you see a successful person on TikTok, when you see a successful person on Instagram, on YouTube, whatever, they failed probably 1,000,000 times over before they got to the point that they were at. And you only see them at that successful point, but they saw themselves when they failed, got some success, failed, and they kept on going. Why are you trying to avoid that? Why are you trying to avoid failing? That's the only way that you're going to grow. We done watched LeBron James miss plenty of game-winning shots. He failed, but did he not come back and shoot more and make more? We've watched NFL players fail, come back the next season, win a Super Bowl. Why would we, or why are you trying to avoid failing? You're going to fail forward. Okay, I failed at doing this. Was it lack of preparation? Was it lack of knowledge? Was it lack of motivation? What was it? Was I ignorant to certain information that I didn't know about? Now when I go forward, okay, cool. Let me write that down. Let me jot that down. Let me make sure, okay, I know what I gotta execute on next time, so then there's a less likely chance I'll fail. Was I not consistent enough? Did I let the outside noise get to me? You need to understand that failure is not an end all be all, but it is a stepping stone. It is a stepping stone. Great story. Great example. Adrian Peterson, when he ran for 2,000 yards, did he not fail? Did he not tear his ACL, his MCL? Did he not tear a bunch of stuff in his knees and then had to spend time going through that failure and failing last season to work his way up, and then run for a historic season off an ACL injury? And we see it time and time again with athletes, with entertainers, with so many other people. So why are you different? Because if you cut their arm and you cut your arm, you bleed the same. So stop trying to sell yourself short on this failure. Stop trying to sell yourself short on, if I make a mistake or if I fail, I'm a failure. No, you're not. You are just like everybody else. You are learning. L's turn into lessons, right? Okay, stack up some lessons and then it'll come with some wins. It's that simple. But hey, you don't have to listen to me. It's your body, it's your choice, it's your decision if you want to go out and take that risk and go fail. Because every day you get up, you're gonna fail. Whether it's in the gym, you fail to get X amount of reps, whether it's working where you fail to reach that deadline, whether it's anything outside of work that you're trying to achieve, you may fail at it, but guess what? You're going to learn. But man, y'all, I hope everybody has a blessed day. I hope who's watching this has a blessed day. I'm gonna get up out of here. Tap in with me, like, comment, share, subscribe.